What's up, man? What's up? What's happening? What's happening? Salute to everybody out here, man. That's it, my class Pacific time. Nah, man. I just get on here when I get on here when I can, man. I get on here when I can. I get on here when I can, man. Salute to everybody out here, man. Salute to everybody out there, man.
Breaking the law, breaking the law.
These people are so corny. These people are so corny, man. It's just crazy, man. Yo, it's literally everybody in the town that needs the police. Think about this.
Breaking the law, breaking the law.
It's literally a rally of everybody in the city that needs the police the most. It's like they took a survey and said, "Do you need the police?" And they were like, "Yeah." Salute to Douglas Chunks, man. Shout out to Douglas Chunks. Shout out to you, bro. It's like they took a survey to see who the most weak, vulnerable people in the city. And they said, "Come downtown, man." Everybody who's vulnerable, all the vulnerable people in the city, come downtown. Nothing but women and soy boys. Nothing but women and soy boys. Nothing but women and soy boys. Look at these people, man. Look at this motley crew of people. He's still unemployed. Just a weird bunch of people, man. All these people desperately need the police, man. Wow. Unbelievable. This is such a, yeah, they're like zombies, but they're still like, it's worse because zombies are scary. These people are not scary. These people only commit violence that they're allowed to commit. If a firm hand was brought down on them, they wouldn't do this. That's why the guy said the other day they don't do this in Mexico. They don't do this in Mexico. They do not do this in Mexico. They do not do this in Mexico. Trump, look at this person.
Say it once, say it twice. We will put up with ICE. We will put up with ICE. Say it once, say it twice. Say it once, say it twice. We will.
So this is Trump's new statement. Well, it's early. Those people haven't started breaking shit because it's early. And they might not be allowed to. Like if they go to a place and the people are like, yo, we're not letting you do this shit. The sheriff, like he said, what? He said, um, played Brevard, Florida sheriff warning video about putting violent protesters into hospital or grave. Yeah, yeah, you ain't. Yeah, you don't run shit over there. Over here, you got too many rights, man. When I say too many rights, I'm talking about like you you have most people. Most people aren't wired to have this many rights. Okay, we didn't evolve with this many rights. We didn't evolve with this many rights during our evolution. We didn't evolve with this. There's a lot of rights, man. America give you a lot of rights. Donald J. Trump, our great farmers and people in the hotel and leisure business have been stating that our very aggressive policy on immigration is taking very good long-time workers away from them, with those jobs being almost impossible to replace. In many cases, the criminals allowed into our country by the very stupid Biden open border policy are applying for those jobs. This is not good. We must protect our farmers, but get the criminals out of the USA. Changes are coming. So he's already folded, man. He folded. So he's folded. He's folded. And then once the thing about this, once you fold, you're gonna keep folding. He gonna keep folding. Before we know it, it ain't gonna be no more deportation. Because everybody's gonna have a gripe. Everybody's gonna be a hotel. Spanish people from Central America, they're very good at cheating the system. In baseball, they all use steroids. In boxing, they all put like shit in their gloves to make their punches harder. Press one. Anybody know about sports? Latinos always cheat. They always cheat, man. They always cheat. They have a different view on cheating. They don't view cheating as cheating like we do. I'm not saying that they don't have good character in other facets of life. When it comes to cheating, Latinos don't view cheating as cheating the way we do. Yeah. If you have, they always put shit in their gloves. They always use steroids because they don't view it as cheating. They gonna do whatever they feel like can get them to where they're at. Um, they're always gonna sneak into your country. They cheat a lot. So now every damn Latino gonna be a goddamn hotel worker. I guarantee you. Every single one of them. Oh, I'm a hotel worker, man. I'm a farmer. He created a loophole. Trump created a loophole that now that's more red tape because look, I'm a farmer. Now you gotta fucking find out if the motherfucker's a farmer or a fucking hotel worker, and that's another loophole in the system. And all of them going to say it, so you got to check millions and millions of people, whether they're Because if you send one across the border and they turn out to be a fucking farmer or a hotel worker, and that's going to be a big story. Trump sending back farmers and hotel workers. It was never a thing before. It was never a thing whether you were sending back farmers and hotel workers. You made that a thing now. Now people going to be slamming you about sending back farmers and hotel workers. Trump sending back farmers. Trump sent back 10 farmers. Trump sent back 5 hotel workers. He's an animal. And nobody was, and it didn't matter 24 hours ago. Yep. So you're gonna bend here and then you're gonna bend somewhere else and you'll bend somewhere else and soon there ain't gonna be no more deportations. And not saying that, it's necessarily gonna change anything, but it's like you're not doing what people ask. That's not what people voted for. So you are allowing people to stay in the country illegally. I think they don't like this bad. They don't like this. The protest for the. They don't like the protest. And they trying to, and they think this is what I don't understand about Trump. He's already been president. He knows that the media is never going to let up on him. Trump knows the media is never going to let up on him, regardless of what he does. There's nothing Trump can do to make the media let up on him. So why is he what does he think this is going to get him some good press? It's like he think this is going to get him some good press. Or this is going to get the media off. He thinks this is going to get the media off his back. I don't get it, man. I hope he's not doing this to get the media off his back, because that's not going to happen. All they're going to do is now say, yeah, look, you knew you were wrong. Bring back all the farm workers. They're gonna press him to let the farm workers he's already deported back in the country. Press 1. They're gonna press him to let the farm workers he's already deported back into the country. That's gonna be the new thing. That's gonna be the new thing they hit him with. Let the farm workers back in that you already deported. Let the hotel service industry workers back in that you already deported. That's going to be the new thing that they're going to hit them with. This was a big mistake. I'm talking about a gargantuan mistake. I can't believe you said Trump being lukewarm about many things, not just this. Yeah, and that's understandable. Like presidents have to, you know what I mean. You don't want to change too much. You want to change, you know what I'm saying. You don't want to change too much because that upsets things. But it seems like he's doing this because he thinks it's going to get him some goodwill. There's no goodwill for Trump from the media. The media is not going to be like the Latinos aren't going to appreciate it. The Latinos want it all, right? It's not. I don't know what he thinks gonna happen. He thinks the Latinos gonna like Latino women gonna bring him churros or something. They're gonna start bringing him like dishes to the White House. Like thank you. Here's some chimichangas, President Trump. We made you some tostadas, President Trump, homemade for all you have done for us. No, the Latinos want it all. And now they're like, oh shit, we can have it all. They were hopeless. They were hopeless. And now they're like, oh shit. Because you gotta remember, Latinos want it all. They don't want a little bit. They want everything. They want it all. So Trump is gonna Trump folding. Massive mistake, man. The Latinos are gonna be like, now you deported my mother. She was a farm worker. Let her come back. You're gonna have a million of them doing that. Now you gotta go fucking look and find out who you already deported that was a farm worker or in the hotel business, and they're gonna be faking documents and shit. The media gonna be fucking picking up these stories of all these people that have already been deported that were in the farmers and in the hotel industry. Now you got Trump fucking fighting another fucking battle on another front that he created for himself. Yeah, so apparently it's not a hard line. He's not taking a hard line on breaking the law and coming into the country, which will make more people come into the country. They got it down to what, 180? I think they had 180 border crossings the other day. I guarantee you that goes up now. Once you take your foot off the gas, once you take your foot off the gas, because this is the thing, I think they think they're dealing with white people. Trump thinks he's dealing with white people. White people have a different nature, and I'm not saying that white people are perfect. What I'm saying is Mexicans are shrewder than white people. They're more shrewd than white people. White people are, encumbered with all this other shit like altruism and fairness and shit like that. Mexicans, don't give me wrong, I think Mexicans have great character. I think they possess good character. What I'm saying is that they're shrewder than white people. Like they play the game a lot better than white people. When I say the game, I'm talking about the game. You know, life is a game. Mexicans play it better than white people. This game, that the current game in the world right now. I'm not talking about the game from fucking 400 years ago, Columbus era, or the game from George Washington days. I'm talking about the game currently being played in the world right now. Mexicans play that game better than white people. And I think Trump thinks he's dealing with white people, and he's not. Salute to my man Aster J, man. He said these piece of shits only do this shit in glider countries. Romans, Vikings, Spartans, etc. are rolling in their graves. Shame on you gliders. Yeah. They never try this shit in their home country. And they don't have any rights over there. They basically have very few rights over their country. And they know they never rise up. They never rise up and fucking demand shit. They know. They know better. They come here, lie, cheat, and steal, and then complain and burn shit. And it's worked because, listen, what Trump has basically said is that burning shit and destroying shit will get me to change my stance. That's the message that they get. Because remember, they're not white people. You're not talking about white people. You're not talking about a race that's been comfortable and that a race, you know how they say good times create weak men? These Mexicans have not had the good times that create weak men for a long time. See, gliders have had good times that create weak men. The Mexicans have not had the good times that create weak men. They haven't had it long enough. Gliders, it took hundreds of years to make gliders like impotent like they are now. I wouldn't say hundreds. I say it took about 200 years to make gliders impotent like they are now. Mexicans, they've had good times for what, one generation? And that's just the ones that have been here. That's not the ones that are coming every day. Good times create weak men. Mexicans have not had those good times long enough. Blacks have. Blacks have had those good times long enough. Said check the Irish and Bellamy the last 2 days. Oh, Ireland's done. It's too late. I think Ireland is it's nice what they're doing now, but it's too late. It's too late. Ireland's too late. The UK is already too late. They let it get too far. Salute to the Irish people trying to stand up for themselves and shit. Well, you know what Ireland's doing? Let me tell you what Ireland's doing, man. How many of us watch sports? Press 1 if you watch basketball. How many of y'all watch basketball? Or know the rules to basketball? Know what basketball is about? Press 1. You know what? You know what Mexico's doing? They're fouling. It's like they're down by like 100 with like 2 minutes left in the game, and they're fouling and shit and trying to like come back. They're trying to hurry it up, running down, shooting a shot, then foul another team and trying to get the ball back and all that bullshit. You know that shit they do? Or like a football where you down by like 50 and you keep kicking onside kicks with like a minute left in the game. Keep throwing the ball down the field, all the way down the field with like a minute game. You have no chance of winning. You're down by 50. The 34 seconds left in the game, and you're trying to like hurry up and score and shit. It's that's what Ireland's doing. It's already over. The game's already over for Ireland. They're done. They're cooked. It's like they're already cooked. It's like this is just for show. This is just like, you know what I'm saying? This is trying to cut the deficit. They're trying to, you know what I'm saying? Trying to make it look like they were in the game. So if somebody just read the score, they be like, "Oh, they only lost by 20." When really they was really like the other team was up by 50 and took their starters out. The other team took their starters out when they were up by 50, and now it looked like, oh, they only lost by 20. No, they was down by 50 the whole game, and they could have really lost by 100. But you know what I'm saying? The other team took their starters out. Yeah, right. In LA, brown people are rioting because they are not getting unlimited access to white society. In Northern Ireland, white people are rioting because of one of their daughters was raped by a gypsy. We cannot live with these people. Just talked to my best friend who lives in Ireland. Can someone please explain to me how Trump's National Guard is causing riots there also? Maybe the problem are the illegal immigrants. Let's see what this fucking.
I mean, it's right beside a school. You know, as someone who is young, I'm 16 years old. I don't feel safe walking the street in my own country. I don't feel safe walking the street in my own small village town. I don't feel comfortable walking the streets of the town I grew up in for 16 years of my life. You know, that is not normal. A young person should not fear going out because something may happen to them due to the fact the government is messing up and allowing so many dangerous people in.
Going for a run with my mum meters behind me in the car because it's not safe is unacceptable. It's only going to get worse if there are more iPass centres in Blaney.
I don't care if I get cancelled off TikTok. This is something that really needs to be addressed, and this is not our country anymore. I went around the whole of Dublin nearly in over the last few months, and it's getting worse and worse and worse.
I go for a walk every day, and there is not a day that I can say some fella has stared at me and just made things weird. This town is not safe in any way, and living through that is terrifying. Like, there's been nights there where I've been out past dark, or when it's dark, and my father has had to drive through town to make sure that I got home safe, which isn't right. Nobody should have to check up on their child every 5 minutes just to make sure that they're safe in their own town.
Yeah. Look at this shit, man. Look at this shit, man. This is embarrassing, man. This is embarrassing, man. Normally, I would condemn the men for this. Follow me. Normally, I would condemn the men for this. I would say, yo, you men are so weak. You're allowing this to happen to your women. You men are so spineless. Y'all are allowing this to happen to your women. This is happening on your watch. Men of Ireland, men of Europe. And that's true. That's true. However, the women demanded this. White women demanded this. Press 1. They demanded this. White women didn't just ask for this. If white women asked for this, that would be white women demanded this. They didn't just ask for it. They demanded it. Stephen Roberts says Trump's nod to hotels here is specific to Tigers. 60% of all us hotels, are now owned by Indians using a cousin economy to import them. Feed, house them, cheap labor. Best migration racket out there.
Going for a run with my mum meters behind me in the car because it's not safe is unacceptable. It's only going to get worse if there are more iPass centres in Blaney.
I don't care if I get cancelled off TikTok. This is something that really needs to be addressed, and this is not our country anymore. I went around the whole of Dublin nearly over the last few months, and it's getting worse and worse and worse.
I go for a walk every day, and there is not a day that I can say some fella has stared at me and just made things weird. This town is not safe in any way, and living through that is terrifying. Like, there's been nights there where I've been out past dark, or when it's dark, and my father has had to drive through town to make sure that I got home safe, which isn't right. Nobody should have to check up on their child every 5 minutes just to make sure that they're safe in their own.
We're being erased in our own country. But Ireland will never bow. Not now, not ever.
You already bowed, dumbass. Oh, shut up. All those people are going to jail. The Irish government is going to lock all those people up. So how do you, I don't know how you, and I'm not talking about like for the night and then let them go like protesters in America. They're going to lock those people up for years.
A person looks at you and then they'll give you that some stereotype joke and you'll be like it's not a joke, it's something serious that you shouldn't be saying and everything, but then you'll get, oh, but we're Irish, we like to joke around, we like to make a laugh out of something, and that needs to change within the Irish community. As much as I am Irish, that's the one thing that it kind of annoys me. A person looks at you.
Wow. Jesus Christ.
Into this house in here. Look at goes down to Condra here now. Look at this. They're moving all these people into this house in here. Look at into these buildings here. Here's the trailers, as you can see here. Yeah, again now look at here we go. Look at this. Look at this down to Condra. Where you from? Afghanistan. Why are you in Ireland? How many of you is this? All men. Look at this, all men, is it? Where you come from? Playing?
Afghanistan.
Yeah, where you come from before here? House? Which house? Where were you before here? City West, off the City West, yeah? Off the City West, all men here. Look at this. Fucking joke it is. Look at down into these houses here in Condra. All men, look. No women. All the luggage here, as you can see. This van here bringing them down. Look, shutting the window, covering his face, taking the dirty money. Look at him. Should be ashamed of yourself. Show your face. Doesn't want to show his face. Hiding his fucking face. Look at him. Where's your face? Bringing unvetted men into the country. Unvetted men you're bringing into this community. Should be ashamed of yourself. Call yourself an Irishman. Shame on you. Shame on fucking you. This is our area. This is news. I'm not from here. This is Dublin. You're from Afghanistan as well, eh? From Afghanistan, eh? Shame on you. Go and fight for your country. Don't run from it. Fight for your country.
See, I told you, it's just like doing an onside kick when you're down 50 with 30 seconds left in the game. I told you, it's the same thing. It's like fouling when you're down 50 in a basketball game with a minute left on the clock, and you're fouling another team to try to. It's embarrassing, man. That guy's more embarrassing than that guy's so embarrassing. Where was this guy 10 years ago? And I'm not saying necessarily him, but where were guys like him 10 years ago? Like, it's embarrassing, man. This is embarrassing. It's like walking in on it's like coming home from work early one day and walking in on your wife getting fucked. Press 1. This is like coming home from work one day early and walking in on your wife getting fucked, and not like and just like talking, complaining, like, who is this? Who is this guy? Who is he? Tell me who he is.
Here, here's the trailers, as you can see here. Yeah, again now look at here we go. Look at this down to Condra. Where you from? Afghanistan. Why are you in Ireland? How many of you is this? All men. Look at this, all men, is it? Where you come from? Playing?
Afghanistan.
Yeah, where you come from before here? House? Which house? Where were you before here? City West, off the City West, yeah? Off the City West, all men here. Look at this. Fucking joke it is. Look at down into these houses here in Condra. All men, look.
This is embarrassing, man. I feel bad for this guy. He doesn't know how embarrassing this is, man. Salute to Big Time, man. Big Time says, Have you checked out the book America's Peacemakers? It was written in 2020. They admit that a government organization called the CRD is responsible for the civil rights movement. Wow. No, I haven't. I have to look into that, man. I'm sure they are. Because as we know, press one, blacks didn't have it that bad here. Blacks didn't have it that bad. Lynching, we've already debunked lynching. If lynching was a hoax, think about it. If lynching was a hoax, why couldn't the civil rights movement, why couldn't this be I mean, think about it. Lynching was a hoax. Emmett Till was a hoax. When I say hoax, I'm not talking about it didn't happen. I'm talking about the way they present it to us is actually bullshit. I'm sure it probably could be, man. Look at who's pushing pro-immigration. White women. It's white women. Look. It's white women. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into that book, man. I'm gonna have to look into that big time. Look at this, white women. This is who's pushing pro-immigration. You know what? It just hit me. It just hit me, guys. It just hit me, man. Hey, it just hit me. Like literally just now, it just hit me. Just now, it just hit me. I don't know why I didn't think of this earlier. White women, their cave woman instinct to gravitate towards strong masculine men. Press one if you agree that women naturally gravitate towards strong masculine men who aren't afraid to commit violence or aren't afraid to break the rules. Men with an edge. Press one if you agree that women of all races are naturally geared to be attracted to men with an edge. So if the men in your country have had good times for hundreds of years and they've gone soft and they've turned into soy boys and betas, women intuitively, not rationally, not consciously, intuitively. Remember, I'm not saying they're doing this consciously. Instinctively. Will try to replace their men with those strong men, those virile men, those men with an edge. That's why the majority of people pushing this pro illegal immigration in these European and Western countries are women. Because instinctively, they know that it's only men coming here. They know it's not women competing with them. Now, if it was women, if it was all women, if it was like concubine culture, they would be calling it concubine culture. And they would be saying, oh my God, they're bringing in all these women. If it was 95% women coming into these European nations, the women would be having a fit. Press 1. The women would be having a fit. Because we know how women hate women. Women hate women. Women hate women. They can't get along. They just can't get along. Not for long. If it was 95% women coming into these countries, like it's 95% men, think about it. Follow me now. If it was 95% men, women coming into these countries like it's 95% men, these women would be having a conniption. Okay? Oh, you men are using these women for concubines. Oh, this is rape culture. They're just bringing these women in to rape them. They would start teaching the women how to make false rape claims and sexual harassment and Me Too. They would teach it. They would teach all the women Me Too shit. The first thing the women would learn, they would have a seminar on Me Too. As soon as the women touch down, you know, you can, if a guy looks at you and says something inappropriate, you can ruin his life. And listen, they're doing all this instinctively. I do not think they're doing this stuff consciously. I don't think so, because women are just doing what's being allowed, right? So, like, the men created the Constitution. The men create the laws. The men allow the women to vote. The men allow the women to be politicians. The men allow immigration into their country. And the women see, oh shit, they're bringing in men. All men, and these men are not pussies. Like, and listen, I get it. These men are like dangerous, they're rapists, they're criminals, but they're not pussies. They're lecherous, they're weird, they're aggressive, but they're not pussies. And the woman instinct is to gravitate towards men that have an edge. So the women are going to be for this instinctively. The women probably don't even understand. The women probably don't even understand what they're doing, because women react emotionally. Women don't react logically. They react emotionally and instinctively. So they say, oh, our men are letting another group of men into the country. Yeah. Let more men in. That's what every white woman who's pro illegal immigration is saying. Increase our dating pool. Increase our eligible bachelor pool. Thank you. Because I guarantee you, listen, I don't even know if it would have to be 90% men. I mean, I don't listen, 90% women. I don't know if it would have to be 90% women for women to rebel against it. I think if you just let in 50-50, if you let in 50% women and 50% men, the native women would be irate. If you let in 50% of the immigrants were women, the native women would be irate, incensed. You say you don't agree big time, go ahead, jump on. Let me come up, or let me read your super chat, man. He says, that same government organization goes around and tells white people how to speak when their children are unallowed. Oh yeah, I heard about that. Yeah. So that they don't incense a riot. Yeah. What was the name of that group? Is that the CDR? The one that tells white people to not bring up race and not talk and to forgive? The CRD, yeah. Yeah. But listen, I'm talking about on an instinctual level. I'm not saying these women are doing this shit logically. I'm saying it would be the same thing with us, right? Think about it. Let's just think about it. Think about if a bunch of Latinas was coming in here. Think about if it was if at the border every day there were fucking thousands of Latinas waiting to get in. And a few men scattered in the group, but 90% Latinas. Yo, we would love that. That would make it easier to find a chick. All the incels, as they call them, it wouldn't be no more incels. It wouldn't be no more incels. Latinas. I mean, you just gotta flip it, man. If it was nothing but if it was Latinas just coming into the country, white men would be for that shit. White men. Oh no, let's not even say that. Say it was Thai women. Thai women and East Asian women at the border every day, thousands of them trying to get into the country. You think white men wouldn't be for that? Why you think white men would be against that? Because just like women like men with an edge, men like women that are beautiful and meek. Beautiful, meek, submissive. It's no surprise they love the East Asian women and the Thai women. When you meet the East Asian women and the Thai women, they're very meek. They're very submissive. And it speaks to a man's soul. A man can't help it. His spirit can't help it. Yeah. Them white men of means, they hang out in East Asia and Thailand, man. They hang out over there. Where the women got soft voices and they're shy and they're meek. And they're submissive. And where do the white women hang out at? Huh? The fucking third world, right? The white women, they ain't fucking Jamaica and shit. And Cuba and shit. The Middle East. Looking for a man with some edge. Because all the men in their country are pussies. And they're to their, in their instinctually they feel all their men are pussies. So they're looking for men with edge. And if their men are dumb enough to invite them in to the, if their men are dumb enough to import them, why would the women not be for that? I would love to hear all the white women haters. Why would white women be against importing men with edge? Because you wouldn't complain if thousands of fucking Thai bitches was in fucking East Asian bitches was flooding across the border every day. You wouldn't be against that. Boy Kachina says lots of homos making policies these days. Don't leave out their help. Well, here's the thing. There's always going to be homos. There's still a small percentage of the population, and they still want the same thing women want. Homos still want a man with edge. They want the same thing a woman want. But there's more women than homos. There's way more women than homos. Women outnumber homos by a gazillion to one. But I agree. Homos and women do kind of like want the same thing out of a man. They want a protector. And when I say protector, I'm not saying that the guy can necessarily. They want their cave woman and caveman instincts want someone who speaks to that. You know what I'm saying? Someone who gives off that energy. You said glad men are going to Asia to find women worth marrying. Yeah, but what if they could just? What if those women could just come here by the thousands? A lot of men would love that. If those women were coming here by the thousands every day, I'm talking about every single day, like to the point where it's like 10 million of them come in like a few years. If you could get 10 million East Asian bitches here in the next 2 years, white men would sign up for that white men would vote for that 90%. That would be a 90-10 issue. Yeah, bring the East Asian bitches over. Yep. We'll take 2 million East Asian bitches in the next 4 years. We don't have to go over to Thailand and shit. We don't have to go over to East Asia. They'll come here. Sure. Let's do it.
I have been trying for 3 years to take my family out of this psychotic place full of alcoholic racists. Okay, and I've been trying my best for over 3 years to take my family out of this crazy, mad, lunatic place that they pretend that is angelic and heaven and full of righteous Catholic people. Would you ever fucking stop with this pretending and your PRs around the world, 1,000 welcomes? Would you ever feck off with that? Give us our children and our families and stop restricting us from protecting our own children. The reason asylum seekers come to this country is for protection, which means it's supposed to be a safe place for people to come to in this country. Now, I'm not an asylum seeker, but if I could tell the asylum seekers or the EU, I would tell them not to send people to this country. I would tell them to accept applications from this country for people in this country to leave for our safety. Okay? That is what you're supposed to do. You are accepting and robbing the EU money, and we're paying tax in this country to be racially abused by both the government and its fucking psychotic citizens. Okay? So we are here to put a stop to this now. Hand over our fucking children and stop oppressing them. And for the black women, no, let me leave that for another video. Hand over our children in this country now, or there will be fucking consequences. I'm sick and tired of it. I am sick and tired of sitting in this country waiting for justice so I can take my children to a better civilization than this. I am sick.
What's up, man? What's up, Big Time?
Hey, Ak, what's going on? Thanks for letting me up. So early. Well, I mean, there's nothing to say. He's just going to call you racist and gives me shit, gives me that. Hey, I wanted to add some context or nuance if I can, if that's okay.
Go ahead.
And I agree with you 100%. White women exactly are used because of their biology, because of their need to be conformed to the group and to not be, and they want to be nice and they want to be accepted and they want to do the right thing, even if that means selling out their country and selling out their children. But can I give 2 examples from the state I live in? I live in Pennsylvania. I'm from South Philly.
Okay.
And I left in 2016 when Krasner started running this campaign of free all the sons. Oh, the crime's so bad, we got to free all the sons. So I left and I moved into Appalachia. One example I want to give is my own children. My oldest at the time was 3, and she was going to a daycare in Harrisburg. And they were showing her this book called Our Skin. Have you ever heard of that book?
No, but yeah, I've seen these books.
You can Google the book. It's called Our Skin, a first conversation about our skin, a first conversation about race. And on page 12, it has a white person and it has skulls on a shelf behind him. And it says that white people created racism. They were showing that to my 3-year-old daughter, Ak. Now, we've already moved our children out of that daycare, but that was at a daycare in Harrisburg. They felt comfortable. They didn't ask us. that's just seen as the right thing to do. Oh, we have to show your 3-year-old daughter that she created racism. And I also want to use yeah, there it is. Also in our state, last year in front of the state Supreme Court, Downingtown High School requested a FOIA, like a Freedom of Information Act, because Downingtown High School in Exton, PA started teaching DEI. And you can go to their website, and like 2021, they were bragging about that they were teaching DEI. And a parent came forward and she requested the syllabus. And the son who created the syllabus tried to say, oh, we can't tell you because it's a trade secret. Even though we're teaching it to all the kids and I'm teaching it to all the teachers. And it went in front of the state Supreme Court, and the state Supreme Court said, no, you're not allowed to do that. It can't be a trade secret. If you copyrighted it, this person got a copyright patent for their method. And essentially they're teaching these kids that they're less, and that to be a good white person, you have to help brown and black people. And you should know this because you can see what happened at Evergreen State University. Benjamin Boyce has a series where he takes everything that happened at Evergreen State University. Remember Evergreen, where Brett Weinstein, the small hat, was detained for 8 hours and all the kids were yelling at him and everything? Do you remember that?
No.
In video 3 of that series, when they're blocking the entrance where Brett Weinstein was being detained, 2 cops come to the building, and this group of kids, they go, white people to the front. And white kids ran in front of the brown people to protect them because that's what they were told to do, to be good white people. And when they're having this big organization with Brett Weinstein, him and his class are being detained in this library for like 8 hours. This one girl walks up to a podium and she goes, yeah, and the white people protected the brown people and the students with disabilities. They actually have a video of a struggle session where the white kids are told, shut the fuck up. You're not allowed to talk. You do as you're fucking told. And that's it. And everybody can say, oh, well, it's a college. Okay, well, basically the question becomes, what age is the kid not a victim? So we have the high school where they're 14, they're being told you don't matter. And now I have a personal experience of my own children being told at 3, everything's your fault. So I get what you're saying, and it is the women, and yeah, there's a lot of stuff, and they want to fit in, and they think that and everybody's taught that racist is the worst thing in the world. Being racist is worse than having your children murdered. But I can personally attest that the education system is also a big hand, that your children are being taught they don't matter. Or I guess not your children because you're not white. My children are being taught they don't matter because I am a glider. And thank you for letting me say that.
Yeah, man. Salute to you, man. Let's read this book, man. Let's see what's in this book, man. Because I agree, man. These books are awful, man. This shit is just awful.
Hello, my name is Megan, and I wrote this book with my friend Jessica called Our Skin, a first conversation about race. And I'm going to read this book to you now. I hope you enjoy it. We all have skin. It comes in different colors. What color is your skin? We see different skin colors at the playground, at the grocery store, and on TV. What skin colors do you see? Our friends have different skin tones. So do the people in our families. What about in your family? Our skin is beautiful, strong, and important, just the way it is. What do you love about your skin? We get our color from something smart inside our bodies called melanin that protects our skin from the sun. You have melanin too. We all do. Everybody has just the right amount for them. The darker your skin, the more melanin you have. The lighter your skin, the less melanin you have. Melanin makes our skin many beautiful shades, from dark to light. What do you call your unique skin color? We may use color words to describe people, like black and white. Sometimes we say people of color to talk about all the groups of people who aren't white. Our world has so many different groups of people, so there are lots of words we use. Black, indigenous, Asian, white, Arab, Pacific Islander, African American, Latinx, biracial, and so many more. What groups do you belong to? Skin color can't tell you much about what people are like, what they know, what foods they think are yummy, what their favorite books are, or even where they were born. Just by looking at someone, we can't tell who they are on the inside. But sometimes people try to anyway. A long time
There you
ago,
go. There it is.
way before you were born, a group of white people made up an idea called race. They sorted people by skin color and said that white people were better, smarter, prettier, and that they deserve more than everybody else. That isn't true or fair at all. But it's a story that has been told for a long time. When people believe this untrue story about race, that's called racism. Racism is also the things people do and the unfair rules they make about race so that white people get more power and are treated better than everybody else. Racism happens in lots of big and small ways. It's all around us, even if we don't always notice it. Racism can be a rule, like if someone says only friends with white skin can play. Racism can be an idea, like thinking princesses only have blonde hair. Racism can be a way we've done things for a long time, like how there aren't as many books written about people of color. Racism can be on purpose, like calling a person of color a mean name because of their skin color. Racism can be by mistake, like if the same friend always has to play the bad guy. Racism hurts and is always unfair. That's why it's important to talk about it and do our part to make things better. All the time, even right now, people are working for racial justice by telling the truth and sharing feelings, by treating people the way they want to be treated, by bravely saying, "That's not right," by marching in protest, by singing songs that bring us together, by changing unfair rules, by teaching, helping, learning, and listening. We can do it too. And that is the end of the story. Thank you for listening. This book is called Our Skin, A First Conversation About Race. The words were written by me, Megan Madison, and my friend Jessica Rowley, and these beautiful illustrations were done by Isabel Rojas.
You know what the worst part is, Zach?
What's the worst part?
The worst part is there's another book they were showing my kids called I'm an Activist. And it was essentially teaching my children that they have to care more about, you know, the gays, the sons, the small hats, and that basically you have to be second. You can look it up. The book's called I'm an Activist for 3-year-olds.
Salute to Big Larry. Big Larry's in the building once again. Shout out to Big Larry. D from Boston, man. Salute. This is straight up indoctrination. Oh my God, man.
The worst part is my boomer parents think this is right.
Oh yeah. My wife would be all for this. My wife would love this. She would buy this book for my daughter.
I just find it strange how and that's the hardest part to explain to like other gliders is like everybody at that daycare. Oh, this is correct. This is where your children belong. This is what your children are supposed to think. And when you turn around and go, there is no such thing as common sense. There is no common ground. That's all bullshit. Like if I would say, well, my kid can't even. We're working on the alphabet. We're working on writing her name. Don't you think it makes sense to do alphabet before activism? And you try to talk in like slogans, like all the Democrats always do. You know, our democracy. Yeah.
Is it how to be an activist or
I mean, I have the book here. It says, "I'm an activist."
Is it this one?
Oh, that's kid queer stuff. I don't want to watch her. The book's just called "I'm an Activist." It says level 3.
Level 3.
And it says level 3. I'm an activist. They have like a reading scale where like level 1 is you read to the kid, and level 3 is the kid reading themselves. But in the book, they show Indian women. They show a trans person. They show, of course, they show the small hats. Yeah, that's it.
Brought to you by DK Audio.
And I get what you're saying, like, oh, well.
DK Audio presents I'm an Activist by Will Mara.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. And again, I've been watching you for years. I've been watching you since you were in the car. And I lived in Philly and I always thought I was crazy. Like I would walk to work at 4 a.m. and in the summertime, I would have to hide from herds of young son kids just walking, like 100 of them coming down the street, destroying everything. I'm a grown man hiding behind steps trying to get to the subway. and it's like, and I'm over 6 foot and I'm over 200 pounds and I'm not like I'm not big, but I'm not small. You get what I'm saying?
Right, I got you.
But it's like, and I went to Temple University and I went to Community College of Philadelphia. And I just didn't understand the people around me just accepted everything, It's like John Gott was talking about the other day. Do you know the urban landlord, John Gott?
Yeah.
When he went to CVS and a bunch of the sons were chimping out and they had a little takeover, and he went to the CVS talking to the security guards, and the one security guard was a female. And at CVS they got to wear, armored vests and they got to have handguns. And she said, and the guy said, they got to go. And the girl said, they got to get out of here. And he's like, who? The juveniles. And he's like, what, you mean the black kids? And she lost her mind. Like they speak in, like the news, it's all this nebulous, vague teens, juveniles, youth, men.
What?
And it's like, well, I mean, yeah, you can say, And yeah, sure, it's, you know, Europe is gone and Ireland, the place where my family's from, is gone. But it's like, my 3-year-old. My 3-year-old, and everyone at that school was mad at me for taking my kids out. I'm the bad guy. Oh, you don't think your child should be brainwashed? Oh, well, clearly you're a Yahtzee. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, how do you? I don't even understand parents, and I can't even be. I've just made the decision. I can't be friends with you if you won't even stand up for your children. You won't stand up for your children. Well, just here's a Tide Pod. Go, go kill yourself. I can't do it.
Yeah.
All right, I'm done bitching.
No, man. I mean, it's crazy, man. It is absolutely crazy.
Brought to you by DK Audio.
DK Audio presents I'm an Activist by Will Mara, read by Nneka Okoye. Chapter 1. What does an activist do? An activist is someone who takes action to help solve important problems in the world. An activist is willing to stand up for what they believe in order to reach a certain goal. One early activist was the ancient Roman Spartacus. After being captured in war, he inspired fellow enslaved people to escape and start a rebellion. Another early activist was a French girl named Joan of Arc, 1412 to 1431. She led a French army to victory in a war against England. Joan was later captured and killed for this. In the 19th century, more people started to work in cities. Even children worked in factories and workshops. Conditions were very bad. People were often hurt by the machines or got ill from chemicals or coal dust. Workers joined together to protest against the way they were treated. They went on strike, refused to work, until they got better treatment and pay, including the miners' strike in the UK in 1984. In the 20th century, activists fought for equal rights between all people. Women wanted to be treated equally to men. Gay people wanted to be able to live without discrimination. In 2009, women participated in peaceful demonstrations for women's rights in Bangalore, now Bengaluru, in India. Racist systems such as the South African apartheid were ended after protests organized by activists. One of the greatest problems in early American history was slavery. This was the practice of owning another person in order to make them work for no pay. By the 1800s, many people were taking action against slavery. These people were called abolitionists. One well-known abolitionist was a woman named Sojourner Truth. She was born into slavery, but escaped to freedom when she was very young. Then
That one isn't as bad. I mean, it's teaching more history. That one is less than documented.
Yeah, well, when you get halfway, I have the book here because I have to buy. I have to buy the. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's about to heat up right now.
Well, I'm looking at page 28, and it has a drag queen with the rainbow flag.
Yeah, drag queens are in a lot of children's books. Like drag queens, like it's almost like you have to have a drag queen. One drag.
I mean, do you want me to read it? I'm on page 28. It says the rights of LGBTQ plus people have improved in recent times. For example, laws have been passed in many countries making it a crime to refuse someone a job just because they're gay. In 2001, the Netherlands became the first country to legalize same-sex marriage. It's like, essentially, it's like it teaches white glider kids that their only place in life is to be an ally. Mm-hmm. And I just always find it interesting that if you try to talk to these people, like especially white boomers, mm-hmm. What is wrong with taking your side? Why does my child have to care about the country in the Middle East? Or why does my child have to save butt sex? and they lose their mind. But they can't like rationalize it to you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's just being a good person. It was like, here, can I say one more thing and I'll jump off? And again, I appreciate you letting me on. It's just I'm usually asleep when you're on, you know?
Yeah, you're good, man. Go ahead. Floor's
I was
yours.
having a conversation with my parents, like my real parents, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was trying to ask them, like, what do you think of all these illegal immigrants? What does it mean to be an American? And they said, oh, you know, you show up, you get a job, and you pay taxes. That's it. I was like, oh, that's it. So you get a job and you pay taxes. That's it. Yeah, maybe speak English. Do you think? I said, is there any like prerequisite knowledge that people need? You have to know like the founding fathers, the Constitution, the Pledge of Allegiance, and they were like, no, none of that's important. You just get a job, pay taxes. I said, oh, okay, cool. So my children don't have to know about slavery or the Holocaust, and they lost their fucking mind. They lost their fucking mind. And I said, well, I don't understand. You just said these people who got off a boat yesterday are just as American as you or me, and you said they don't have to know anything. So why is there this responsibility for me to know all this stuff? You know what I mean? But they can't explain it to you. It's just that's your place.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, look, white people have what's the word, like I can't think of the term, but they created this thing where like punching down. I don't know what you're doing right there. Are you what are you doing? Like are you washing dishes?
No, I'm sorry. I got a gym in my basement. I'm working out.
Oh, okay.
I know you can hear it. We can hear it. My bad.
Yeah. White people have this whole punching down thing. So like punching down, it's kind of, there's an arrogance to it too. Like, you know, like they view themselves, and it's liberal. It's white liberals with this arrogance. They're like, you know, we're punching down if we criticize or reprimand, you know, black people or any marginalized group. It's just punching down, and we're better than that, you know. And they extrapolate that across the entire white race, and the white race is not a monolith at all. So it's like all of you guys are like brushed under that tent of, you know, punching down is beneath you, and everything is punching down. Like, so like if a black kid, you know, takes a squat and drops a turd in your fucking front yard, you know what I'm saying? Calling the police on him is punching down. You don't know if you don't know if because of his diet and the schools in Black America are so bad. You don't know if he's eating something that was, you know, that upset his stomach because they don't have proper diets in their communities and in their schools. And you calling the police on him is just incriminating him for something he can't. He has no control over. It's like
right.
It's just I won't really think it's a conspiracy. I think it's just altruism, bastardized altruism, run amok. You know?
Yeah, well, there's a book you're talking about that same thing. It's called Pathological Altruism. And it basically explains what you're talking about, where you want to help so much that it's just to your own detriment. And Europeans, especially now, seem to have that. And what I'll say is, again,
and they've helped so much. Think about it. Think about how much you've helped. Like, just your inventions have eliminated so much hardship. You know, like think about porters. Just think about porters. Right? You know, that's how most products were transported just a few hundred years ago, not with camels, not with beasts of burden, but with porters. Did you know that?
Probably not. I mean, can you just tell me what a porter is?
You know what a porter is, right?
I'm sure. Can you just tell me? I'm not sure.
A porter is a man who carries things. A porter is a man who carries things. So, like, even during the sub-Saharan slave trade, all those slavers that came from during the Arab slave trade, all those Arab caravans that came into sub-Saharan Africa, they had food rations, materials. They had all their their war chests. You know what I'm saying? There's stuff they needed, right? And all that stuff wasn't carried by camels. This stuff was carried by porters. And then when the ivory and the goods that they extracted, that stuff was carried back up by porters. White people eliminated, and the porters were treated horrible, almost like slaves. But they weren't slaves. There was a job.
Well, especially if they were in Arab countries, right?
Yeah, no, anywhere.
I read the book you talked about. I have a copy of it now. I downloaded it. Negroes in Negro Land.
Yeah.
Very eye-opening.
Yeah, I mean, it's sub-Saharan Africa. These are more modern day porters that you would see in a train station. They would carry the luggage and stuff like that and do all that stuff. Porter was a job for it was a working class job. A lot of blacks did those jobs as porters, but prior to America, porters were just fucking dudes that like laborers. They just carried things. They carried you'd carry like a box on your head or on your shoulders, and you'd follow the caravan, the trade caravan. And that's how they transported them. The majority of goods were transported with porters. White people created cars and shit and boats and fucking planes and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's not the need for that anymore.
Oh yeah, they're burning the Waybos in LA, right? Those AI taxis that can drive themselves that are like $100,000 each. They're setting them on fire.
White people created microwaves and stoves and ovens. The woman to liberate the woman. The woman. White people created tampons and baby formula so that the woman could leave the house. The woman couldn't leave the house because the baby the only way to feed the baby was with breast milk. White people created baby formula. And that allows the woman to now leave the house.
Yeah, when I try,
someone else can feed her baby.
When I talk to people to try to get to some sort of common ground for self-autonomy, I can't use examples of what we've done. I typically try to reflect on poor examples that some people have done. And honestly, Philadelphia itself presents so many examples of their failed leadership. You've Cindy Bass was trying to remove the bulletproof glass and the Asian and Koreans all coming out. Or Philadelphia was the first city after Floyd to pass the driving while black law. Yep. Or you had the civil rights lawsuit against South Philly High School, which I lived right down the street. December 3rd, 2009, 21 Asian American kids were lynched by 50 African Americans, and not one of them went to prison. And you had LaGretta Brown, who was the principal, and Arlene Ackerman, who was the PA, who was the school superintendent. And the black Mayor Michael Nutter, had to pay her $900,000 for her to step down. But it's disgusting, Ak. I have copies of the Philadelphia Inquirer where they essentially say, well, yeah, the Asians were being beaten up, but it's wrong to blame the kids who beat them up. That would be racist. They even said, and there was a kid named Wei Shen who kept a notebook for all the incidents that happened with his people. And it was 2 years of incidents. And he was when we were in this, they had this, the school was getting tax money because they had an English second language only room. Because you have all these third world Asian immigrants from Vietnam and Laos and Cambodia and Thailand. And they even said during interviews that they would walk around the school. They had to be in a Spartan formation on the bus. They were afraid to go to the bathroom. if they didn't talk like the Sons and didn't wear shoes like the Sons, they would be picked on and beat up.
Oh,
and they
yeah.
basically said when they were in that English second language only room, that's when they felt the safest, when none of the Sons were around.
Well, hold on. If Sons don't wear the right shoes, they get beat up. So it's
Yeah.
not just it's not just sons are predatory amongst, like, when it comes to fashion and plus here's the thing. One thing sons hate, right, is people being smart, right?
And
Like,
being told no.
the Asians are very smart, so the Asians are going to be in the crosshairs of Sons. It's just like the Sun. It's just like Sons. Blacks have a very anti-intellectual culture, so like Asians just in the crosshairs. Asians in school are just going to be in the crosshairs of that because they're very studious. Blacks.
Well, yeah, Suffolk High School was a 70% African Americans population, and the entire staff and security facility, and it was all black. And the basic attitude was, well, if you gonna suffer, we gonna suffer, or we gonna suffer, so you gonna suffer. Like, and all their cries fell upon deaf ears. And essentially, that's one of my arguments for race, because all of these Asian organizations came together. They combined their Asian power, and they sued the school and filed a civil rights lawsuit in 2010.
This
It
is
didn't
just
do
4
it.
years ago.
I am very
Yeah.
thankful for
3 years ago.
of love and support from here in the city and across the globe.
She is the woman at the center of a racially motivated attack aboard a subway on November 17th.
I hope that all people from different backgrounds realize the true meaning of my message. We need to be united as one and speak up against the violence and school bullying in today's society.
Christine was thrust into the national spotlight when video of the attack went viral. She says she wanted to stop the bullying of others. The bullies, she says, turned on her.
I was born in Chinatown, and I.
This is 3 Muslim girls.
But for
Yeah,
John Chin and
I think
others
so.
rallying today here, they say it shouldn't matter if you immigrated or were born here. The same rights extend to all.
Because people.
I think it's these Asian girls right here. These.
It's
Yeah, it was just 3. Yeah.
Except the subway train is caught on cell phone video.
Yeah, they slam her face in the door.
Believed to be
Yeah, I know.
students in the Philadelphia School District. Eyewitness News reporter Waukesha Bailey is live at school district headquarters in Spring Garden with more on the assault and the response from school officials. Good morning, Waukesha.
Yeah, good morning, Jim. Well, police tell us that this assault likely happened right after school around 3:30 p.m. near the Erie station. And as you mentioned, these are Philadelphia School District students. As a result, this morning, the district is working with officials to find those attackers. Now, before we show you the rest of this video, I have to warn you that these images are very disturbing. So we had to blur out a lot of the video because these are likely minors and just due to the sensitive nature and it being so violent. So here you have this video where you see teens attacking another group. Now, within seconds, these
Teens attacking another group.
It's all euphemism. It's all bullshit.
There's no way they would talk like that if it was black kids getting attacked by whites.
Yeah, that's right.
They would be criticized for talking about it like that.
And if you want to add one more thing, you know Cheryl Parker, the current mayor, the female. I'll give her credit. She's doing kind of a decent job. I mean, crime is down, and they did reverse that driving while black law. They did reverse that now.
Yeah, I think she's doing a hell of a job for a Democrat.
Well, the guy she ran against, David O. I used to train. I was a trainer in Philly for about 10 years, like a personal trainer.
Mm-hmm.
And I trained the guy that ran against him for city council. I trained a judge that David O was the first Chinese American to be in the elected, the first Republican. And that was a big deal for Chinatown. It was a very big deal. And he was, I'm sure you know the story. He was very pro-black and very, there's 150 rec centers. We need 50 more. We need your tax dollars. And then he was stabbed. And then he was stabbed in the stomach. And then the guy who did it was let go and was not guilty. And then suddenly he became pro-police. But do you know one of the things he ran on, that one of the main reasons why he lost?
What's that?
St. George in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, that all white city now.
Yeah.
He wanted his own school for his kids, for his people. He wanted his own school. He wanted to segregate. He wanted a Chinese only school.
Oh, definitely. They need that.
But they retaliated and they wanted to put a Sixers stadium in Chinatown. So it's like, it's just, I don't know. And I don't know what evidence to present to other gliders. It's like, look, other groups have had enough. They have their own level of fatigue. They don't even want to be around this group of people. Like when you go to any Chinese place in North Philly, East Philly, even South Philly, it's bulletproof glass. But when you go into Chinatown, they don't have any bulletproof glass. Why is that? Because they're around their own people.
Yeah,
but everybody acts like they can't see that.
Chinatown is right near Market Street. It's just like right downtown. Chinatown is downtown, like it is in DC. DC's Chinatown is nothing like y'all Chinatown. Like the DC Chinatown is like literally 3 blocks. And it's like literally it's probably like maybe 8 Chinese restaurants. Y'all Chinatown is a real Chinatown.
So it's like a China block.
Yeah, we got it's they call it Chinatown, but it's really a gallery place. You got galleries. It's like the stadium is there too, just like the MCI Center. The whatever they call the Capital One Arena is in Chinatown. So they did the same thing in DC. They put it in Chinatown.
Of course.
But yeah, y'all, I'm seeing y'all shit. I was like, wow, like this is Chinatown. Like this is real shit.
And it's never a question. You walk into a Chinese restaurant, you see 6 and 7-year-old kids doing their homework, and then they come over to you. They stop. Here you go, sir, and they give you napkins and fork and knife. They take you to the table, then they run back and do their homework.
Yeah.
But the Chinese store, they only hire people from their family. They only hire their own, and nobody complains about it. But as soon as you say white, hey, can we do that? Everyone goes, no, you can't do that. And I just don't get it. Well, anyway, I really appreciate letting me come up. Big fan. And thank you again. Have a great night, man.
Salute to you, bro.
Salute.
Teens went from yelling and screaming to punching. One girl was thrown to the floor, kicked, then beaten by a shoe. Now, the audio was rather distorted, so it was hard to make out what the group was saying. And an email from a parent at Central High School says her son was one of the victims, as well as some of his classmates, also from Central. Now, SEPTA says it's already making progress on identifying those involved. So in a statement sent to Eyewitness News, SEPTA went on to say investigators are continuing to interview witnesses and reviewing cell phone video that has been released on social media, as well as SEPTA surveillance video. This was a violent and disturbing incident. Now, SEPTA said that none of the victims suffered any major injuries and they are expected to be okay. Reporting from Philadelphia School District, Waukesha Bailey, CBS 3.
Wow. Waukesha Bailey. Wow.
And developing tonight at 10, preparing for mass protests. Barricades are now in place already as the city of Philadelphia prepares for tens of thousands of people to take the streets from Love Park down the Ben Franklin Parkway in a rally against Donald Trump's policies on immigration. This is the 10 o'clock news. I'm Jason Martinez.
I'm Sheba Russell. The protest on Saturday is one of 2,000 planned across the country, and it is expected to be the biggest. Our Chris O'Connell is live at Eakins Oval tonight. Chris, how are Philadelphia police preparing for the crowds?
Well,
Sheba, Philadelphia police say they do have a plan. They are monitoring events both locally and nationally for this weekend's major demonstration here along the Parkway. They're prepared for what could be the largest protest in the country on Saturday. Blocks off the Ben Franklin Parkway, the happy hour drinks were flowing at McCrossan's Tavern, but the buzz around the bar tonight is what's coming this weekend. An estimated 30,000 people on the Parkway for the nationwide No Kings protest.
We're hoping for the best, and we support freedom of speech. And if the people have something to say, we just hope that it's said peacefully and everybody gets their fair shake.
The No Kings protest call for a day of action to oppose the policies of President Donald Trump. Coinciding on his 79th birthday, it's one of 2,000 scheduled protests going on around the country. The flagship being held in Philly, a noon rally at Love Park followed by a march to Aikens Oval, where barricades have already been put in place. District Attorney Larry Krasner with this warning for those coming.
We will also hold accountable anyone and everyone, whether they are uniformed ICE agents or they are opportunistic criminals who would tuck in behind lawful protest in order to loot. We will hold all of them properly accountable.
Governor Josh Shapiro is also asking for nonviolence, saying, I want to be very clear. All protests must remain peaceful, lawful, and orderly. The mass protests are said to be the single largest day mobilization since Trump took office. Some say there's no better place to exercise free speech than Philly. They just hope it stays safe.
If I was to come down, I would just keep my antenna up and be careful. And I have done many a protest in my day. So I wish everybody a safe journey when they come.
And motorists are being told to avoid the Parkway area at all costs on Saturday. If you are coming down, be prepared, be patient. It's scheduled to be a lot of people down here, so be prepared, guys.
All right, Chris, thank you. Also happening this weekend, ICE is reportedly preparing to deploy SWAT tactical teams to Philadelphia and 4 other cities with Democratic leaders. That's according to Fox News, which spoke with a source involved in the planning. These elite special response teams are responsible for going after what ICE calls the most high-risk targets. They were most recently deployed to Los Angeles as part of the federal government's efforts to suppress protest activity there. In addition to Philly, the teams will reportedly deploy to New York, Chicago, Northern Virginia, and Seattle.
And all that is happening as the Army has scheduled a celebration this weekend in Philadelphia in honor of its 250th birthday and start here in Philadelphia. In fact, if you've been in Old City, there is a gigantic stage going up tonight on Independence Mall. Throughout the weekend, there will be parades, reenactments, and paratroopers to celebrate the birthday/anniversary. President Trump is hosting another Army celebration, a massive parade Saturday in Washington, D.C. The event coincides with his 79th birthday. There is a lot going on this weekend, to say the least, and we're staying on top of it all. Stay with Fox 29 and Fox Local for live coverage wherever you are. We also have a full list of road closures and SEPTA detours you should know about on fox29.com.
Salute the big time, man. Salute. Oh man.
Dispute over trash led to a woman allegedly choking her 88-year-old neighbor. Police have charged Paula Whitmore with assault, and she's expected in court for trial on Monday. WJZ is live in Northwest Baltimore tonight. Casey Baylor on your corner, speaking with the victim's son, seeking justice in this case. Casey, good evening to you.
Stefan, good evening. Luke Wright says it's all about holding the suspect, Paula Whitmore, accountable for her actions. Now, he walked us through what happened here back in March. And Wright said it all started with a simple and common practice for his mother, picking up trash in her Northwest Baltimore community.
Bright and early in the morning, that's what she's doing. She's cleaning up the street. She's cleaning up the alley.
It's not uncommon to see Adina Gordon picking up trash on Nome Avenue and around her neighborhood. In fact, neighbors who didn't want to talk on camera say they've seen her do it for years.
Probably 15 years.
Her son, Luke Wright, adds a former Baltimore mayor acknowledged her efforts in 2015. Wright says the morning of March 6th, the unimaginable happened. Gordon's neighbor, Paula Whitmore, allegedly attacked her in an alley off Nome Avenue.
Just showing up while she was cleaning up leaves and came right up to her chest to chest. And my mom said, back up off of me. And Miss Whitmore began to press her and then proceeded to choke her.
A Baltimore police report shows Gordon struggled to breathe during the incident and later went to the hospital.
She's got my mom pressed up against here, right?
This is not the first interaction between the two. Gordon told police she and Whitmore previously had an argument after Gordon placed a bag of collected trash in Whitmore's trash can. Documents say Whitmore told Gordon, quote, "You may as well get an undertaker." Charges have been filed against Whitmore, and Wright says he's gone to every hearing so far, hoping for justice and accountability.
This fight is not only for my mother, but for any seniors in the Baltimore City community that are being taken advantage of.
Now, Wright says his mother is still holding on to the mental weight of that experience, but she's slowly getting better each day and is slowly starting to come out of her house to pick up trash again. Now, we've also heard from Baltimore City Public Schools who have confirmed to WJZ that Whitmore is a teacher at the Claremont School. Reporting live on your corner here in Northwest Baltimore, I'm Casey Baylor.
Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
They did. They talk about this being a very traumatic experience. Again, the victim was not hurt. The neighbors very upset. Sighs of relief in Upper Fells Point following an extremely terrifying incident captured by neighborhood security cameras. The armed robbery of a neighbor on South Register Street. The victim tells 11 News by phone he was.
Yo, that's a chit. Is that a chit?
Was taking things out of his car when a man with a gun and a woman.
Yeah, that's a chit. Yeah, I knew that. Black chick. When last time you seen a white chick in an armed robbery, man? Last time you seen a white chick in an armed robbery?
30 cameras.
And it's not in the movie.
The armed robbery of a neighbor on South Register Street. The victim tells 11 News by phone he was taking things out of his car when a man with a gun and a woman walked up to him.
I just remember them saying, "Give us everything, give us everything."
The victim tells 11 News his yells alerted others.
Immediately, there were just yells of distress, out just suddenly, very out of nowhere. I ran, 10 feet to the door, opened the door, looked outside. It was kind of a confusing scene.
One witness says the woman went toward the car as the man held the victim at gunpoint.
I asked what's going on, and then I realized there's a guy with my neighbor at gunpoint in front of the car.
One of the suspects responded.
Shut up and go to the house.
I was mad. Like, how dare you do this on our block?
Shut up and go to the house.
Obviously, it's frustrating. We live here. It's scary.
So I just kind of was just complying, basically. ended up getting shoved to the ground, and that I think slowed them down, honestly. And then my neighbor kind of came out, and then I was very glad that my neighbor came out and started yelling at them. It seemed to definitely scare them. I'm glad that didn't escalate it either.
It was over in about 30 seconds.
I just went over and hugged my neighbor and made sure he was all right.
But neighbors say after immediately calling police, it took a while for officers to arrive.
Police said at that time they were en route. We waited another 40 minutes to see anybody. More than a little disappointed.
Hey, man, past decisions created that. Past decisions you guys made. When you guys were defunding the police, remember a few years ago when you were for defunding the police? Oh, you forgot about that. Well, a few years ago when you were caught up in the wave of George Floyd and you asked for the police to be defunded, yeah, they defunded them, and a lot of cops retired, and a lot of cops moved away from Democrat cities into different jurisdictions. So yeah, you have a shortage. Now, of course, you've moved on from that, but you still have the effects of what you did 4 or 5 years ago. Got it, white man? Good.
Another 40 minutes to see anybody. More than a little disappointed.
Now, the robbers took the victim's wallet and keys. Police tell us that robberies are down 21% as compared to the same time last year. And police also say that there was a delay in responding. They say that they arrived within 28 minutes of receiving the call.
Listen, don't feel bad, police. You did your best, man. You did your best, man. You did your best. You did your best, man. Do not feel bad. You did your best.
A rideshare vehicle is now the focus of a murder investigation. A man was ambushed by several masked gunmen and killed in a hail of gunfire. It is Monday night. I'm Gray Hall. Shari has the night off. The big story on Action News is a search for several gunmen who targeted a man while he was with his pregnant girlfriend. Nearly 3 dozen shots were fired, killing the man. Action News reporter Brianna Gallagher following the story for us. She's live there outside Philadelphia Police Headquarters with the very latest on what we're learning about this shooting investigation. Brianna.
Yeah, great. Well, neighbors tell me the victim's girlfriend, she's pregnant. When they walked outside for their ride share, 3 men showed up, all in masks, and started shooting. Philadelphia police were called to the 700 block of Jericho Street just after 3:30 for a shooting. A woman who neighbors tell Action News is the victim's pregnant girlfriend was crying on the ground next to him.
Just saying, yeah, they just came out, they just shot him. Came out of nowhere type deal. I was inside.
Boaz Kim was one of the neighbors who heard the gunshots and called 911.
Around 3:30 or so, I just heard really loud banging. I just hear the gunshot. That's it.
According to police, an adult male victim was rushed to Temple Hospital and pronounced dead shortly after. Neighbors tell Action News 3 men in masks fired at the victim. At least 32 shell casings were left behind. 1 bullet struck the rear passenger door.
Rapid fire.
Quick.
Yes, very quick.
Ring video captures groups of neighbors rushing in to help after the shooting.
It's scary here in Philadelphia. It's crazy out here. She said that she was being walked out by him to her Uber car. Right when they opened up the door of the Uber, then 3 masked people came out and just shot and then drove away.
So far, no arrests have been made. Homicide is now investigating. We're live outside of Philadelphia Police Headquarters. Brianna Gallagher for Action.
Yeah, man. Salute the big time, man. Big time says, but none of these blotters will arm themselves. None of them will say what needs to be. Well, here's the thing, man. They've tried that. They've tried that in a lot of jurisdictions, big time. In the South, they did that with constitutional carry. And constitutional carry has made it worse. Because remember, the laws are for everybody. So I think you gotta be careful with that. Thinking that guns are the solution for this problem. Constitutional carry in Alabama, constitutional carry in Mississippi, constitutional carry in Tennessee, constitutional carry in Texas, constitutional carry in Ohio, constitutional carry in all these different jurisdictions, man. It makes it so you got fucking sun teens walking around with fucking Desert Eagles tucked in their waistband. You got sun teens walking around with goddamn Dracos tucked in their waistband. And you can't stop them because there's constitutional carry. Press 1. And you don't want constitutional carry in Maryland because that's Baltimore in the D.C. Area, the D.C. suburban area, and those people are already crazy. It's already too many black people there. Metropolitan D.C. is a very, 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 very sunny area. Baltimore and metropolitan Baltimore is a very sunny area. Annapolis is a very sunny area. If you bring constitutional carry to that area, you just and they're not because of the proximity to the White House and the Capitol, the senators and all the congressmen. They're not going to do it. But if you did, you would see an explosion in homicides. So arming yourself doesn't fix this problem. You fix this problem by enforcing the law. Enforcing the law to the letter. And pricing them, and also like cutting back on Gibbs me stuff, free stuff, and all that stuff. Cutting back on all that stuff. Yo, there's no pro. Listen, how many white people actually defend themselves against a crime in constitutional carry states? You're ambushed. Yo, if that white guy was armed, let's say that white guy in that last video, right?
They did. They talked.
And developing tonight at 10, preparing for mass protests.
Hold on. Where's that guy who had his ass in the air?
They did. They talk about this being a very traumatic experience.
Where is it?
They did. They talk about this being a very traumatic experience.
Yeah, here we go. Okay. So you got your ass in the air. You putting boxes in your trunk, and you got your head in your trunk and your ass in the air. And a couple of sons come up and ambush you. What the fuck is having a constitutional carry going to do at this point? I haven't seen a lot of stories of gliders defending themselves, man. Street crime doesn't announce itself. And even when you can feel it coming, like say you can see it setting up, you can these motherfuckers on some bullshit. Are you gonna whip out and start shooting? No, because you're not a fucking criminal. You're not built like that. You're not gonna just whip out and start shooting at some sunmen because they're plotting on you or they're walking up on you suspiciously. You're not gonna do that. And if you just got the gun in plain sight, if you got the gun on your hip, they'll try to take it. Oh, they don't report it on purpose. Right. They don't report white people killing black people. Okay, laughing dog. Great. The media is hiding white people killing black people. That's what's going on, Laughing Dog. There's instances of white people killing black people, and the media is hiding it. Big Time says, did you cover the rapper? Yeah. We covered LGBTQ. Robbed by some randos, man. Just robbed for his jewelry. That's a young man. I think they were 19. Robbed his ass and killed him. Took him out. We did that story. LGBTQ. He said, arming yourself doesn't mean just pew-pews. You tell all women they should carry pepper spray, gel, mace. Yeah. Yeah. I do. They talk about it all the time in Philly, man. We've done several stories of Asians defending themselves, blacks defending themselves. There was a story in Philly a couple weeks ago. A black guy defended himself. He got charged. He got armed. Let me see if I can find that.
And developing tonight at 10, preparing for mass protests. Barricades are now in place already.
They did. They talk about this being
A rideshare vehicle is now the focus of a murder investigation.
Hold on, is it?
Details in a deadly shooting inside a West Philadelphia corner grocery store earlier this week. Our Steve Keeley, who was on scene minutes after, has more on the 15-year-old who was hit and killed, and now the man charged with his murder.
22-year-old Jaquan Higgs has now been charged with murder in the double shooting homicide Wednesday here inside the Maryland grocery store at 54th and Ray Streets just past 2 p.m. Philadelphia police sources tell me Higgs stayed on scene at the store after shooting 2 armed juveniles, killing a 15-year-old and critically wounding a 16-year-old shot in the face. Philadelphia police sources identify the 15-year-old as Seth Marshall, who was shot and killed while armed with this semi-automatic gun with an extended magazine. Witnesses inside the store picked it up and put it under a car across the street to keep it from being used as they ran out of the store. Police found it and took it in. One of 3 guns recovered. Police say the 16-year-old also had a gun that was found inside the store. Police sources tell me that Higgs has a permit to legally carry a concealed weapon. Police took his gun that day, too. As he told detectives, he fired at the 2 teenagers in self-defense. Sources say store surveillance shows that neither teen pulled their guns out before they were shot. The store video...
See what I'm saying? Now, I know how that goes. The teens, they're about to rob you. This guy, he knew, because he's a son, man. He knew the move was coming. He knew the move was coming, so he pulled out his gun. You can't do that as a concealed carry holder. You have to wait till you got to wait till a 15-year-old already has his gun trained on you before you can then reach for your gun. Okay? And they may have been trying to rob him of his gun. They may have seen his gun bulging, or he may have had his gun on his hip. And like I said, that when they see you with a gun, that they think, okay, we're going to take his gun. So you have to wait till the son teen has his gun trained on you before you can shoot him.
Police took his gun that day, too. As he told detectives, he fired at the two teenagers in self-defense. Sources say store surveillance shows that neither teen pulled their guns out before they were shot. The store video shows the 15-year-old's gun visibly sticking out of his waistband as he was near the front door and raised his phone, not his gun, and began typing a text.
See what I'm saying? I told you. The teen got his gun in his waistband. He just got his gun out. You walk into a store and there's some 15-year-old fucking son teen with boogers in his nose and his fucking pants down around his fucking thighs and shit. Peach fuzz on his face. And little dookie dreads. He got a gun in his waistband with a fucking extended clip sticking out of it. And it's another one behind you, and they're fucking like posturing and shit and giving each other the eye. And you know what's about to go down. And you beat them to the punch. And then the cops say, well, neither one of them pulled their gun out, so we're charging you with murder. Neither one of them pointed their gun at you, so we're charging you with murder. You gotta salute the Big Larry. Big Larry's in the building, man. Yeah, how do you explain vibes in court? How do you explain how the son teens act? You know how they act. You know how when it's about to go down. Everybody know, even white people know. Because son teens like making you feel uncomfortable. They enjoy making you feel uncomfortable before they're about to attack you. They're predators, so they enjoy striking fear in people. Big Time says there has already been 3,000 cases of defensive gun use this year, but that is never covered because it presents a solution that isn't gives me that. Check the website Gun Violence Archive. Yeah, I know there is. I know. Trust me, I know. And I've seen plenty of stories of it. What I'm saying is it's still like a lot of those are home invasions. And home invasions is a different thing when you're doing it in your home, when someone's coming into your home. But on the street, it gets more tricky. Home invasion, look, this motherfucker's in my house. You have you have more, but on the street, you have to wait until the son team pulls the gun out and points it at you. There's a difference. Press 1 if you see the difference. In your home, you have you can say, look, he's in my fucking home. That you can point to the body and be like, look, it's right there. It's in my home. On the street, they're gonna be like, did the son team pull the gun out and point it at you? No, okay, you will charge you with murder. Even when they find the gun on him, he didn't pull it out yet and point it at you. No, I'm not saying don't have guns. I'm saying that if you're going to do it, if you're going to bring constitutional carry to your state, know that the murder rate is going to rise, and it's not going to be because citizens are killing robbers. The murder rate is going to rise because now every fucking son team, because a lot of sons don't carry guns because they don't want to get caught and do time in prison for guns. When you get constitutional carry, every fucking son thug is going to have a gun on him everywhere he goes. Whereas before, you would just have the hardest of the hardest carrying guns, and the rest of them maybe having guns, but having to go get them, or having to go retrieve them from the car, or having to go retrieve them from the house, or having to ask their buddy for the gun. When you make constitutional carry, every son teen is going to have a gun. And they're going to be breaking in cars more because they're going to know that more guns are out there. So I'm just saying, man, I'm not saying, I hope y'all don't think that I'm against guns. I'm not against carrying guns. I'm not against it at all, man. Salute to Big Time, man. He says, your business in PA is still covered under PA's castle doctrine, but I get your point. Yeah, no, I get it. I get it, your business. But what I'm saying is, what I'm saying is like, look, man. When sons. And also, this is more of an East Coast thing because East Coast have strict gun laws. This is more of an East Coast thing, and it depends on the region you're in. A lot of this stuff is regional. So if you're in the East Coast, where New York, DC, shit like that, we have strict gun laws, and the populace is not armed, yeah. I can understand people saying, hey, yeah, man, let's get armed. Without thinking that, like, yo, yeah, like, damn. Like, now every fucking son team you see is going to have a fucking gun on them. And they're the ones using it, and you're the ones not using it. So now you have a bunch of people who don't use guns getting guns, right? And then you have a bunch of people who do use guns getting guns. And it's still out of balance. When you got strict gun laws, the only people that carrying guns are the sons. But when you have loose gun laws, every son's carrying a gun. So your murder rate goes up. Shout out to Mr. Clockwork in the building. Shout out to Mr. Clockwork. He says Trump caves on deportations and to Juice Crew on the same day. Impressive display of absolute impotence. Yeah, man. Trump, listen, Trump basically told illegals that, hey, man, all you got to do is say you're a farm worker or you're in the hotel business, and we won't deport you. And he told Democrat politicians that if one, this is what Trump just told them, Democrat politicians now looking for one case. All Democratic politicians are talking to their staff. Find me one case of a hotel worker, a hotel and leisure, someone in the hotel and leisure business, or a farmer that's been deported. That's what every Democrat politician is tasking their staff with right now. Scour all the files, all the logs for one case from my district of a hotel worker or a farmer being deported. Press 1. Trump really stepped in it, man. He really stepped in it, man. Oh, man. And I don't know if I don't know what he was thinking. Like, is he thinking that like the media is going to give him the view tomorrow on the View? They're going to be like, yeah. Like tomorrow on the View, they're going to be like, yeah. Sonny Hostin is going to be like, great job, Trump. I mean, is that what he thinks? Ana Navarro is going to be on CNN tomorrow praising him. I mean, what does he think? What's Trump thinking, man? It's embarrassing, man. So embarrassed. Yeah. He didn't read the landscape. Americans were overwhelmingly in favor of this. Americans were overwhelmingly in favor of this shit. So now he has everybody pissed at him. Now he has MAGA pissed, and he has, because this gained him nothing. This gained him absolutely no goodwill. This actually hurt him with the Democrats and the liberals. This actually hurts him with the liberals. So now they're like, oh, well, you're deporting. Oh, you agree with us. So we were right. He basically told the left, you were right. And he thinks that's going to get him something. So now everybody's pissed at him. And Israel's about to start a war. Or Israel's already started the war, because they've already started the war. So you got war in Israel. You lost a lot of MAGA. The left is going to be even more on your ass, because now you've basically told them that they were right all along. What a fucking calamity, man. Jeez. Shout out to TJ the Hustler. He said 2 more people I know on the gun war. Yikes. It's gonna lose them friends. Because now think about all the workers. Think about all the hotel workers that the Democrats are gonna try to make him reinstate their citizens. The Democrats are gonna try to make him bring those people back. Every hotel worker and every farmer that's been already deported, they're gonna fight for them to be brought back to the United States. If they're fighting for MS-13 members to be brought back to the United States, what do you think they're going to do with farmers and fucking hotel workers? He stepped all the way in it. He stepped in it like you know how tennis shoes got them grooves on the bottom? He stepped in shit in some goddamn sneakers, man. That shit all up in the grooves, man. Yeah, a hard line. A hard line is the best stance to take. Just a hard line, a straight message. Now the message is cloudy and it's, well, this one and not that one, but this one and not that. And then you put ICE, and then you got ICE out there, and they're in the field doing this shit. Now you've given the illegals a weapon to use against ICE. He undercut ICE, man. If I'm an ICE agent, I'm pissed right now. Because I'm like, yo, you basically just threw us under the bus. Because I guarantee you, every single illegal, just the same way as when they get in trouble, they don't know how to speak English. You notice how, like, when a Spanish guy, when a Spanish person, Mexican person, when something happens, oh man, I don't know English, no English. Now it's gonna be, I'm a farm worker. I work at the hotel. I'm a farm worker, man. I'm a farm worker, SA. I work at the hotel, hombre. I'm a farm worker, homie. Trump fucked up so bad. He fucked up majorly, man. I'm a farm worker, homie. What hotel do you work at? I work at, man, the hotel down the street, man. What's the name of it? The one down the street, I don't speak English. No English. No English. Hotel California. Yeah, exactly, man. Living it up at the Hotel California. Such a lovely place. Such a lovely face. Plenty of rooms at the Hotel California. What a nice surprise. Bring your alibis. Cool wind in my hair. That was my song, man. I love Hotel California. That song, I love that joint, man. That's one of the best songs ever made, man. Hotel California is one of the best songs ever written, man. One of the best songs ever made. The Eagles. Love the Eagles, man. What's up, man? Some dance to remember. Some
Still trying to make it work. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah. Yep.
Is it working?
Yeah, you good, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, I used to think that everybody needed to carry, but I also used to think, if you remember, that everyone had a chance too. It being a normal person.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I really think concealed carry is needed in this country.
Yeah, concealed carry, but what I'm saying is constitutional carry is what it's been, is the thing that's been the answer to all the surge in crime. They haven't done concealed carry. Everywhere it's been constitutional carry.
Right.
Has been the answer. Remember, like Tennessee, Alabama, all these states that didn't have it, they went with constitutional carry, permitless carry.
Yeah, that's what we have here.
Right. Well, you can't have black people. You can have that when you have black people.
Right. Yeah, because then you've got just too many criminals walking around armed.
Yeah.
They're just too bold.
Yeah. And they don't understand that constitutional carry doesn't mean constitutional kill. See, like, when most people most citizens when they get a gun, it's to defend themselves. A son man, when he gets constitutional carry, it's to what fuck you looking at, nigga? It's for, you know what I'm saying? Man, you parking in my spot. It's for, you know what I'm saying? Man, you cut in front of me in line. It's for shit like that. They don't have constitutional carry to defend themselves. They have constitutional carry to adjudicate minor disputes, petty disputes. So that's why the homicide rate always explodes when you put constitutional carry with blacks off, because minor disputes, now where either one person or nobody would have a gun, now in those disputes, both people are armed. And not only are they shooting each other, but they're shooting everybody in the vicinity.
Right, because they can't aim for shit.
Well, they just don't care. It's not even about aim. They don't care. They're not thinking like most humans, when they fire a gun in a crowded place, or not even a crowded place, just in a public place, they don't want to hit anybody else. But what if you don't care if you hit somebody else? So it's not about aiming, it's about not caring about other people.
Right, the value of a human life.
Yeah, they don't give a fuck. Yeah. Don't give a fuck if it hits.
Most people, like you're right, most people get a gun to be reactive. Thugs get a gun to be proactive.
Exactly. So yeah, and think about it. Now all the thugs have guns, and then also it's basically like a cauldron, because you know, I mean, the guy who you're arguing with, or the guy who's looking at you a little bit too long, or the guy who brushed you, you know what I'm saying, when he's walked past, or the guy who, you know what I'm saying, you know he has a gun. So, and you got a gun. So it's like, you know what I mean? It's just a recipe for disaster. And these are minor disputes. These are not blood feuds. Because you know that the blood feuds, those guys are already armed. The gangsters that are shooting back and forth at each other every day, the gang wars, they're already armed. Now you just got the average son. You know what I mean? Where just these petty disputes, these minor things end up deadly.
Right, they already have poor problem-solving skills. Then you add ego and a pair of Jordans, and it's a fucking bloodbath.
Yeah, exactly. And then they throw in the fact that if they shoot a gun in public, they're going to hit 3 or 4 other people that had nothing to do with it. So that makes your numbers your. So instead of like no people shot, you got like 5 people shot.
And not the guy they were having a problem with. I swear, I don't think blacks could hit the ground with a bullet.
Yeah, man. So it's very constituted. I hope nobody thinks I'm against guns. I just didn't, man. Listen, man. I don't even think I have to say it, but I'll say it again. 10,000, if not more, videos, not just stories, but videos on this stuff, man. I've done 2,000 live streams on this stuff, man. If not more.
If it wasn't for the people screwing you, you'd have 10 million subscribers.
Right. So it's like I got all those fucking all that stuff, man. Like I'm telling you, man.
Have you ever been on like the bigger shows like that Antoine or Anton Daniels guy, or
No, I haven't been. I don't. They don't. You know what I'm saying. The last show I was on was O'Shea Jackson back in the day, but those guys, they, you know, I can't believe that they haven't heard of my channel. I don't believe that. I really believe it, but I don't know, man. Who knows, man? Whatever, man. I don't know anybody's motives or anything like that, but you know. Like, I'm easy to find. Even if you wanted to get me on your show, you could just hit the link and be like, hey, man, come on my show. All right, I'm out. I'm the easiest accessible YouTuber. You know what I'm saying? It ain't hard to find me. You ain't got to get my email address. You don't have to find somebody that know my number. All you got to do is hit the link. Hey, man, come on my show tomorrow. Okay, all right, man, cool. All right, peace. I don't think I think a lot of people, and I'm not talking about Anton Daniels. I'm not talking about him, but a lot of people enjoy taking my points and using them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, you know, I mean.
Yeah, you put it all out there.
Yeah. Taking my points and you or lighting them up. Or taking it and doing it light. Making it palatable.
That's the thing, is the truth isn't palatable.
Yeah.
That's why they call it
invited though.
That's why they call it the bitter truth.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think I'm gonna be invited to any of the big shows because, you know, it's like maybe they think I'm gonna say something too. Like also too, like you gotta think about that. Like, is he gonna say something to, you know what I mean? Like I don't know, man. Who knows, man? Is he gonna say something that's gonna not be? No, I ain't gonna. I mean,
get him kicked off, or
if I talk about DNA, not necessarily get you kicked off, but like, because listen, I think black folk are like this because of DNA. I think white folks are the way they are because of DNA. I think it's heritable differences. I think the only way to change these things, I just don't think that it's God. I don't think it's fathers in the homes. I don't think it's none of that stuff. I think those are ancillary things. And, you know, DNA and the IQ, a lot of people ain't ready for that. They're not ready for that because they're successful and they know some black people that are successful. And you know, they may look at it as if the DNA or IQ argument is kind of it's about them. You know what I mean? They may look at it from a personal standpoint. They may take it personal, like, hey, talking about me, man, I'm black. You talking about my mother, she black, and it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't have feelings when you're talking about these topics, man. Or if you do, you gotta put them to the side because it's not. No one wants to say, yeah, man, my race, we have less cognitive ability than the other races. Who wants to say that?
Well, and blacks especially have a problem saying that someone is better than them at something.
Right.
Like whites have no problem saying, you know, look, a lot of Orientals are probably smarter than we are.
Yeah. But who wants to say that, man? Who wants to believe that? It's very. It's on Ock Nation Gold, man. Go to Ock Nation Gold, Alexander. I posted it yesterday. I posted the January 4th episode yesterday, man. On Ock Nation Gold, the excerpt from it, the clip. Like an hour-long clip. Go to Ock Nation Gold, man. Yeah, man. Let me show you, man. So, and I got more clips I'm going to post from those shows. Well, the other day, we've been lied to about lynching. This one, this is a clip from it. We've been lied to about lynching. It's on Ock Nation Gold. And I'm going to put that, I'm going to drop this other one too. This one, I may drop this one in the next few days, and then I'm going to drop this one. So, like, yeah, I've been, I'm putting that stuff up on Ock Nation Gold. What's up, man?
Is that the whole thing?
I mean, that's the part where we talking about the lynching. It's not the part where we just talking.
No, can you upload the whole video to Rumble?
On Rumble?
Yeah.
All right, I'll try, man. I'll try.
You can download from, save it from. It's still on YouTube, isn't
it? YouTube took it down.
But I mean, is the video still there but blocked?
Yeah.
Save it from YouTube and upload it to Rumble. I'll send you another super chat. What are you doing up this early?
Huh?
What are you doing up this early?
What am I doing up this early?
It's nearly noon here, but
this is the only time where I can. I'm about to have to go. My kid's about to get up. I mean, I had things. You know, I don't live alone. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I had some stuff I had to do.
What are you saying about IQ? What you're saying about IQ is there's no. What it is that it's a very high. I mean, it's like the bell curve is shifted to the right for whites. The evidence is that you got the normal distribution of bell curve. For white men, it's off, and there's you got a very disproportionate number of highly intelligent white men, which is the main creators of civilization. But having said that, I mean, we're going down the toilet now. But the idea that all blacks are dumb is ludicrous, of course. I mean, you've got near geniuses.
Yeah, but is that what the bell curve says, that all blacks are dumb?
No, but I'm saying that I'm not talking about the book. I'm talking about the bell curve itself, the normal distribution, and the normal distribution for.
Or does it say that they struggle with problem solving, recognizing sequences, and spatial orientation and orientation to the future? Like dumb is like like you just stupid. You we're not talking about that. We're talking about like just like being able to recognize sequences, being able to and we're talking about like and those things happen in real time and if you can't do that in real time, it's gonna express itself in a lot of different ways. And when you have something like a criminal justice system and you have laws, those things are highlighted in that system. If you have things like schools where they teach you knowledge and then they test you on the knowledge, it's going to show up in those systems.
Obviously, yeah.
So it's like, am I saying all blacks are dumb? Or am I saying that they struggle with abstract concepts, things like that? So it's like yeah, and that shows up. It shows up. It hits you upside the head every day, and it frustrates people. It frustrates people to have to deal with them, have to share spaces with them. It frustrates people that have to send their kids to school with them. It frustrates people who have to cater to them or service them in the service industry. It frustrates people who have to police them. It frustrates people who have to govern them. Those things are things that show up in life. So it's like, yeah, you saying that all black people are dumb? No, I'm saying that if you these skills, these traits, if you struggle with those and you don't have them in as much as your counterpart. See, here's the thing too. A multicultural society highlights that. So now you have blacks in a society with other groups, with Asians and whites and Hispanics. That further highlights it. So like you're not being genuine when you say that. Oh, you're saying that all black people are dumb. No,
I meant that. But I mean, I'm saying that a lot of people can't cope with society, and across the board, this is what this white privilege crap gets me. I mean, I went shopping this morning. There's a white guy begging outside a shop. There's lots of people. It's just that there were more blacks at the bottom, and there were more whites at the top. There were more white men at the top because white men are the primary creators of civilization. That doesn't mean we're all fucking geniuses, but you need the highly intelligent people to create.
You know what? My daughter had a graduation yesterday. Everybody remind me to tell you about my daughter's graduation because I wanted to talk about that tonight. My daughter, she graduated. She's from her from her little preschool, and the school had a ceremony, and I want to and she goes to a multicultural school, so I wanted to talk about that. But I forgot. But remind me to do that later on today. I'm gonna come back later on today, man. My kid's about to get up, so yeah. Let me go ahead and get them started for the day, man. Salute everybody, man. I'll see you guys later on. All right, peace out.
All right, cheers.
Good night, everybody.